Let's go to Chad, who's on the line in Ellensburg, Washington. Chad, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, how you doing today?
I'm living the dream, Chad. How are you?
I'm doing all right, not too bad.
All right. How can I help?
Well, I've been pursuing a passion of getting into law enforcement or fire for a while now, a long time actually.
How long?
I'm a combat over 10 years.
Okay.
And here's the problem I have. I'm a combat vet with PTSD, and I've been offered jobs, but I failed the psych exam 3 times, and there's not a chance that I can do that. So I've got to find something else that I want to do. However, I don't know how to do that.
Okay, hold on a second. First of all, let me say thank you for your service. You've made a tremendous sacrifice that is still affecting you, and I want to tell you how much you mean to me. You're a great American.
Thank you.
Now, why have you failed the psych exam? What are the specific I know you have PTSD, but is there some particular section of the psych exam? Are they giving you feedback as to why you're not passing?
It's about a 2,500 question test, and I asked at the State Patrol, I asked them, I said, well, why'd I fail? And they say, well, we can't tell you that. And I say, why? They say it's confidential. So nobody will tell you why you
But it's the
failed.
psych test part, not everything else, just the pure psychology test part.
Correct.
Are you getting counseling, or did you receive counseling after getting out of the service for your PTSD?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Have you told your counselor this?
Yep. And the VA, I get compensation because I can't.
No, I'm not concerned about that. I'm trying to understand, what does your counselor say, what he or she thinks is what's hanging you up on this test?
They don't know. I answer everything truthfully, so there's that.
Boy, that's really interesting. Okay, because you know where I'm going with this. I think we got to get you healthy to a point where you would be able to pass the psych test. It doesn't seem to me that how many times have you failed the psych test?
3 times.
Very interesting. Part of me wants to say that you need to go see another counselor and tell them this, and let's see if we can get you truly healthy. Because it would seem to me that if you're healthy, you could pass it. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold you over. We got to do a commercial break here in just a few seconds. And I want you to stay on the line, Chad, because I want to come up with some alternative things that are in your sweet spot that would fill that need to serve the way you want to serve. I think we can come up with some ideas. So will you hang on?
Yes.
You're worth it, pal. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. This is the Ken Coleman Show. Chad, I'm picking you back up. Here's the deal. To the extent that you could afford that, or if insurance will pay for that, I think you need to at least give one more shot to this. But I think if it's a true psych evaluation and for some reason you're not passing it, it's just very interesting to me if a really good counselor would have any insight into that. If they don't, and you don't think that and it's kind of a crapshoot, it's kind of up in the air, then maybe not do that. But I just hate that some psych test is coming back because you've been through a lot of trauma. But have you been given a clean bill of health by your counselor?
I don't know. I mean,
see, that's the problem. So here's the deal. I'm going to give you some other. Well, you don't know. You need to know. You need to go, hey, I failed this thing 3 times. Do you think that I'm healthy? Am I healthy enough? Because if I'm healthy enough, it seems to reason that I might be able to pass the test. I just would like you to get true closure on that. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I think it's important for you because that's what you want. Am I right?
That is what I want.
All right. But let's talk about some other things. Let's just brainstorm real quick. Because I teach all the time, Chad, that there's not just one job, one career that would make you happy. There are multiple things within the sweet spot where what you do best is the tool, if you will, the tools to do what you love to do most. I'm just curious, why did you want to move into law enforcement or being a fireman? What drew you to those roles? What are you passionate about that makes you go, that's the kind of work I'd love to do?
It's the element of, no 2 days are the same. You're helping people that truly cannot help themselves. They're having the worst day of their life when they call you. It's controlling chaos. There's all this. It's hit the fan, and it's like, okay, I'm the one on scene, and I'm the one that has to make the decisions on how we're going to make life all better for these people that are in trouble.
Yeah. So
Think
that's
on your feet, that kind of stuff.
I love that. So, Chad, I want you to really bottle that and almost write that down after our phone call today and really begin to look at that as a great descriptor of a role that you would absolutely love. And your talents are you think on your feet, right? You're pretty calm.
Right, yes.
Has the PTSD affected you in ways that you were once something was a strength for you and now it's not? Or do you not see any effects anymore?
I personally don't see a lot of effects. I mean, it's mostly when I'm just, sleeping at night and get woken up in the middle of the night by somebody. And my kids know that, and they know how to maneuver that and stuff. So
yeah. So it's just bad dreams, basically, from awful experiences. That's what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
All right. So my point is that what are the multiple different roles that are not being a fireman and not being a policeman that would allow you to do those things? I think there's a lot of things you could pencil in there. So what pops in your mind? Just take a stab at something. What would allow you to do that every day, to be in that kind of environment? It's a fluid environment, a lot of change, and you're needed to help in an extreme kind of almost emergency or very serious situation. What are some other things you could do?
That's the thing. I have no idea.
Well, but you do. You're just not thinking about it. So I'm trying to get your brain focused on other things. What about driving an ambulance, an EMT? Could you be an EMT? Is that the same? Is it the same thing where you got to pass a psych evaluation? These are things you need to look into so that you see, oh, okay, there are some other ways that I can fulfill this passion. It doesn't have to be a fireman. Doesn't have to be a police officer. I'm just trying to get you thinking.
The thing about that is you've got to get hired here in Washington anyway. You got to get hired by a fire department.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so that cross it off the list. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help you brainstorm. And you're going, I have no idea. But you will begin to have ideas if you begin to do research and look into things that allow you to, again, feed that passion muscle. And what you basically said was, I like an environment that's fluid and changing. It's different. It's a pressure situation where I've got to step in and help. I just think there's a lot more there than you're realizing. Do you understand what I'm saying, where I'm leading you?
I think so.
Okay. So who else in your life could help you do that brainstorming and sit down and go, let's look at all the different ways that I could essentially jump into that situation and help out? It doesn't have to be public service. It could be in the private sector. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think you have to do the homework. I can't pull it out for you, but what I can tell you is you do have a very clear sweet spot, the talents of thinking clearly, the talents of under pressure performing, the talent and the strength of understanding a process and following it because lives depend on it. And so if you back out of that and you go, okay, let me see all the different ways that I could be in a situation where a lot of change is coming at me and I've got to step up and help out. And, I think there's lots of ways to do that. I really do. I don't know. What kind of money do you need to make?
At least $60,000 a year. Yeah.
Have you looked into other things like being involved in private healthcare? Things like that?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. I think you got to do some research. And here's the deal, Chad, I so believe in this that you just got to open up your mind to the possibilities. I want you to call me back. But your homework assignment is to look at all the different ways. We're talking different industries. Look at different industries. Look at different roles where you would be able to bring your talents, what you do best, and use it to do what you just described for us. And I think that's what you've got to be looking at. Then I want you to call me back because this isn't a one and done show. And then we'll talk about the path to get there. But you've got to do some more discovery. Look at what you do best, the things you do better than anything else. How would you use those? How could you use those to step up and help people in a pressure-filled situation? Don't overthink this. Just go do the work.